Welcome back to Park Kids to Park Dads. I'm Adam, joined here by my brother Mitch.
Hey, everybody.
And so last episode, what we did was we ran through all of our favorite in-park restaurants, our favorite sit down, get a reservation, like we said, spend some money, enjoy the atmosphere and ambiance. So in that same vein, we're taking ourselves outside of the parks and into the Disney resorts. Um, so these are places that you'll find around Disney property, excluding Disney Springs and excluding any of the um,
Hotel
hotels
Plaza
that,
Boulevard. Yeah.
yeah, any of the things like outside of Disney Springs and stuff like that. So these will just be Disney resorts, and then kind of plus the Swan and Dolphin potentially as well, which are technically not, but pretty much are, given their proximity to everything. So yeah, so we're gonna give us our top 10 uh, on the restaurants outside of the parks themselves. So
Cool beans.
without further ado, Mitch, why don't you give us your number 10?
So I'm going to start off a little bit different here, and I'm going to start off with a food court.
Okay.
So I'm going to go with Everything Pop, located at the Pop Century Resort. It is the largest variety of food in any of the Disney resorts, as far as quick service goes. And it does the most volume on Disney property. So
Mhm.
fun fact there. A little bit biased. I did part of one of my college programs partially there. So got to see the backside of it, going to work at 4 o'clock in the morning. And some days was making 2,000 omelets. So fun stuff. But no, I think they have a really, really good selection of food. They're known for one of their sandwiches that they have there on focaccia bread. So really good stuff for me. They hit number 10 for me.
Nice. Nice. I went with the Kona Cafe at the Polynesian Resort. So it is what it's not a quick service, but it's a quicker service than what Ohana is um, up there. And I've had breakfast at both places, but I think it's called Tonga Toast over
Mm,
at Kona is excellent, and it's one of
yeah.
those things that you get the theming of the Polynesian regardless, obviously, because you're right there in the essentially in the main lobby. But it's like it's just a faster.
Sit down, but still
Yeah,
faster
you
pace.
can get
Yeah.
in, sit down, eat your breakfast, and move along. It's not a big production like a lot of the places can be. So number 10 for me is the
Cool.
Kona Cafe.
Yeah, Tonga Toast is legit. That's for
Yeah.
sure. Number 9 for me is going to be Olivia's, Old Key West. I've been there quite a few times. I didn't get to go there in September. I know you guys were staying there, Key West. But do enjoy the place. Their menu changes quite a bit. Um, so more on the seafood side. If you are into seafood, I highly recommend that. So,
Yeah, that's my number 9 as well.
nice.
Strangely enough. Yeah, and I'm not a I've done it in the restaurant. I've done it takeaway, to the room, and then they have the quicker service thing
Yeah,
outside. But
the window there. Yeah.
yeah, but it's reliable, and I've stayed at Old Key West enough times that it's not it's not flashy like some of the other ones, but it does have that obviously Old Key West. It's got a Key West vibe, right?
Yeah.
But it's a very you could pick that restaurant up and stick it down in Key West, and it wouldn't be out of place. It's themed really
Yeah.
well. It's got that vacationer kind of flow to it. And I'm not
Yeah.
a fried chicken person generally, but they have like a buttermilk fried chicken there that is really good. So it's one of the few
Yep.
spots I'll eat fried chicken.
Yeah, and it's a place too. Like if you really wanted to for dinner, like you can get semi dressed up in a nice pair of pants and a polo and
Yeah,
have dinner there. Enjoy yourself, surf and turf. So definitely good style.
yeah.
All right, so back to me then. Cape Cape May is going to be my number 8. You can go character dining there, or not. I've been there twice now. Once with the kids, and once without, as back in a college program. Um, and I enjoy the atmosphere. The whole atmosphere of the boardwalk, beach club,
Mm.
and then that whole vibe that they have there. Not a huge fan of the rooms at the hotel, the resort. But I think their food's great. And like I said, you can always have character dining there as well. So
Nice. Yeah, I've eaten there before, I think once. It was good. But Felicia's not a seafood person whatsoever, so it's just not one that ends up on our our list
Yeah,
as we're looking around. My next one I've only been to for lunch, but it was really good. It was the Steakhouse 71 at Contemporary.
yeah, I've not had the
Um,
chance.
yeah, I've only one time, um, and it was like their steak burger. It was it was top three burgers maybe I've ever had, um, ever. So maybe I got it on a good day. But the Contemporary itself, I like the atmosphere. I like where, it's a monorail resort. It's a deluxe, obviously, but just being in there and kind of absorbing everything that's in that space is is one of the pluses for me in that hotel. So, um, yeah. So great,
So
had
for
really good food, but I like the atmosphere and the theming of the Contemporary, which I think adds more to just the fact that it was a really good burger.
as much as I enjoyed myself staying at Bay Lake when we did, it's not a Disney resort for me. Like it's
Mhm,
too modern. Doesn't fit my mindset of being in Disney World. Um, although, like I said, it does hold some of the best restaurants I think on Disney property,
mhm.
as well as the location of Magic Kingdom, the monorail. You can't go wrong there. But as a theming and the modern aspect of it, even the old style contemporary compared to Bay Lake, just not for me. But having Chef Mickey's on the bottom floor, I think is really cool and all that good jazz. So
Do you think it's not for you because you can get modern in other places? Like
yeah,
you can get
and I've
modern in New York
stayed
City
modern.
or in
Yeah, yeah,
wherever.
yeah. I think that's
Whereas you're
part
not
of
going
it.
to get a Disney style resort somewhere else. Like when I say Disney
Correct.
style, like you're not
Yeah,
going to get,
an
yeah,
18-foot Mowgli or stuff like
mhm,
that. Yeah, you're not gonna have
right,
that somewhere else.
right.
So,
Okay,
or it'd probably
I
be
get you.
36-foot Mowgli. But anyways, uh, all right. So number 7, right?
Yeah, number 7.
Kona.
Mm,
Kona hit number 7 for me. Same
mhm.
thing, Tonga toast. I love the atmosphere and vibes of Polynesian resort. Um, it's probably, if not top 3 resort for me in the whole all Disney property. I've never had the chance to stay there, but being right in the lobby, they used to have the birds flying around in there, which is really, really cool back in the
The old
day.
centerpiece in the
Yep.
center, yeah, yeah, in the
Yep.
section there. Mhm.
So just remember like one of my first times ever going there was with grandma and grandpa, back in the early 90s and walking in there for the first time and actually going to Ohana's and just the excitement I felt of walking in that resort. I really, really enjoyed that place. And the food there is, like you said, it's quick service, not as a quick service place, but
Yeah,
faster service side of things, and the food's outstanding.
no, it's it. Yeah, I mean, it hit my. There's a lot of Disney restaurants, resort restaurants. I think there's probably like 25. So I could have added, and I didn't, and you'll obviously figure that out, but I could have added I like the Art of Animation food court
Hmm.
for this. It's big, it's wide open. Same thing in French Quarter. I like theirs as well.
Yeah.
Um, and you may hit those, I don't know, but it's there's just so many other spots to eat that are you get good food, even if it's quick service. You get good food, and it's a decent area to sit, and there's room to relax and that kind of stuff. But I think Kona is one of the few sit downs that you can be in and out, but not feel like it's in and out, like
Right.
a in and out quick move. So
Yeah. I don't want to compare it to like a Denny's or anything like that, but you're not expecting, you get great service, but you're not expecting the over the top stuff,
yeah,
and you can kind of order anything there. They have everything from hash browns to, just your standard eggs and bacon and sausage, that kind of stuff. So
right,
it's all parts of the menu.
agreed. My number 7 is boat rights at the Port Orleans Riverside.
Nice.
Um, I've eaten there a couple times. I've had the jambalaya once,
Gumbo.
which was really good. Yeah, it's Uncle Fran turned me on to that years ago, and I've tried it a couple different places um, where it's like their specialty. I've had that there, and then I want to say they have a lobster bisque that was real good. I could be wrong. Maybe it's like a seafood bisque or something, but not. I'm not typically a soup when it's 90 degrees person.
Mm.
Like Thanksgiving. in the Magic Kingdom doesn't do it for me, as we learned last
I'm
episode.
still hurt. Still hurt.
But yeah, Boatwright's is a strong contender, and I'm a big fan of both the Riverside and French Quarter resorts. So
I am as well. I wish the French Quarter had a. I mean, they had. I don't know if they still do or not, but they had a sit down restaurant a long time ago.
not that I'm aware of anymore.
Um,
Could be
but
wrong.
I wish they did. I do like the Riverside. I've never stayed there. I've always just ventured over and had a frozen rum and coke over there, and had a bowl of gumbo,
Yeah,
which I'm a big fan of.
they have beignets now too.
Yeah,
Um,
Benny's, yeah.
yeah, and
So,
in French, yeah, between the
and,
two there are the beignets, and yeah, it's a quick walk down the thing where you take the boat, obviously, but yeah.
yeah. So big fan of those resorts. Just never. I've never eaten at boat rides per se. So.
Mhm. Gotcha.
Number 6 for me is going to be my fallback restaurant if Ohana's is not available. Um, Whispering Canyon. I've
That's
been
a
there
good
for
one.
breakfast and for dinner. I like the family style aspect of it. I love the server um, interactions, the asking for ketchup, and you're getting 37 bottles of ketchup to your table. Um, we have some fond memories of our brother Jordan
I was gonna mention that.
riding a stick horse around in a parade, or whatever you want to call it, conga line, if you will.
Like a roundup
Uh,
or something. Yeah, for sure.
yeah, around the restaurant and face planting the
Just
carpet.
absolutely eating it. Yeah.
So they got sniped from somebody up in the rafters on the 7th floor of the lobby. But the food there is really, really good for dinner time. If you like barbecue, cornbread, ribs, chicken, that's your place to go, I think. And then breakfast, you get everything: sausage, gravy, and biscuits. Eggs, bacon, toast, the whole nine. So you can't go wrong there. Really, really enjoy the food. And then the lobby itself, if you get a table right by the lobby, the lobby at Wilderness is massive, and the
Yeah,
big fireplaces and all that kind of stuff. So really cool atmosphere. I love the restaurant.
definitely. That's definitely a good one. My number 6 is Boma at the Animal Kingdom Lodge. It's a buffet style. I've mentioned it on previous um, episodes that it is uh, for me, it's one of those ones where I'm not a big, I don't, not that I have a ton of opportunity to enjoy it, but African food isn't something that we grew up with, obviously. Um, or it's not anything that's in our area here in Western New York, not really. But I've tried a bunch of stuff there, and I've never been disappointed. Uh, the quality of the food, the presentation, being Animal Kingdom Lodge, is it's similar to Wilderness, right? It's just a gigantic lobby, and the theming's excellent. So I think Boma is probably the best buffet amongst all the different buffets, including the
Interesting.
parks. Yeah, so they're my
Interesting.
number 6.
So I've never had the pleasure of staying in Animal Kingdom. It's on a bucket list for me for sure. I'd love to do a safari room sometime, especially while the kids are younger, and then be able to enjoy that.
Yeah,
But Boma's always been on one of my lists to get out there. Problem is, it's just so far away from everything else.
yeah.
So
It's not one of those ones where you're gonna leave the park. In my opinion, you're not gonna go unless you're at Animal Kingdom, I guess. You're not gonna go
right,
leave the park to have lunch there to come back to the park, maybe,
yeah,
but or to end your day knowing that by the time you have dinner at 6, you're done by 8 or so. There's nowhere to go back to. So
right.
um, I'll just clarify too. I don't have Chico or Sanaa on here. Both are spots at Animal Kingdom Lodge between Kidani Village and the lodge
Mm,
itself, and they're both spots I want to try down the road. But I've heard great things about Sanaa, but I've never had the opportunity to go there.
yeah, like I said, I've heard a really lot of good things about the entire resort itself, including
Yep.
the restaurants, and seen some videos of some YouTubers and stuff that have stayed there. I know you stayed there a couple times, or if not, at least more than once.
Yeah,
Ansu and Uncle
twice in
Fran have been
Kidani
there.
Village. Yeah.
Yeah. So we were supposed to go there with Ansu and Uncle Fran. Unfortunately, wasn't available, and we ended up staying in Saratoga, which I have no issues with. I do love Saratoga, one of my
Yeah.
top resorts. But yeah, definitely on my bucket list. I'd like to get the kids there at least once. So
Sweet.
number
One.
5.
Mhm.
This is a place I just went to this past September. It just reopened at the Grand Floridian, and I will rival your best buffet with 1900 Park Fair.
Mhm.
Um, Kids had a blast. Really interactive with the characters. With Cinderella. Aladdin, and they have like sounds and music and stuff. They go over the speakers while you're eating, and it all plays to kind of a show. And the food itself, I think, was probably I say is the best buffet on property. And I, being a fat kid, I think I had 3 plates of food there, and everything I tasted was really, really good.
Harvard, of
So I
course.
can't complain, and there was fruit on there, so thank you very much. Uh,
Good. I
yeah, it was a fruit tart. All right, close enough. No, can't say enough good things about it. It was really, really good food
Was
and
it
a big
breakfast or lunch?
selection. Breakfast, brunch.
Yeah.
It was a big selection of food. They probably had, I don't know, 12 to 15 different kinds of things, plus your desserts and then your whole fruits and then pastries and all that kind of stuff. So it was awesome.
Gotcha. I will asterisk that to say that I paid for food there, but I've never eaten there
Yeah,
because
that's valid.
we brought the twins when they were little. They were a year and a half, maybe. I don't know that they were 2 yet, but we went there for a character breakfast, and the kids lost their minds negatively when Winnie the Pooh and Eeyore and those Tigger came out, and I spent the entire breakfast with the twins in the hallway because at that point we were already going to be paying for breakfast. So Aunt Sue and Uncle Fran, I think Mom might have been there, and Felicia stayed and ate, and I had the kids out in the hallway. So I'm sure it was excellent. I
Yeah,
paid enough. I think I paid $60 or $70 to
uh,
have
it-
2 pieces of bacon.
yeah,
So
definitely
strong.
one of the more expensive ones. But it did go from, like you said, Winnie the Pooh, um, the sisters,
Mhm.
Mad Hatter and Alice, I think it was, and Piglet maybe.
Maybe it was Winnie
To
the Pooh
not
characters. That's all I remember because they were afraid of the characters, not the
people.
like people
Yeah.
characters. Yeah,
So now it's Cinderella, Tiana, Aladdin, and Mirabelle.
that's good. That's
So
a good one. Yeah. My number five was Whispering Canyon. For
yeah,
all the same reasons you mentioned, I've had it both breakfast and lunch. Um, the atmosphere, the vibe it's fun. It's just no one's taking it too seriously. It's a spot that you can go there in your shorts and a t-shirt from the park and not feel underdressed for a sit down restaurant. Um, I like and in the Wilderness Lodge itself, you have Geyser Point right outside, so there's some spots you can go and kind of chill while you're waiting for your table. We've done it as a very large group, and we've done it as
mhm,
a family of I think 5 or 6, um, and it's been both awesome both times. So you kind of hit it already, but with
yeah.
Whispering Canyons on my number five.
Number 4 for me is going to be the Yachtsman Steakhouse.
Okay.
Um, High end steakhouse on property. Also, an asterisk of me working there. Um, the food's next level, and I think it kind of separates itself from a lot of other places in the sense like it's not gonna break the bank per se. It's definitely more expensive than most places. But you can still get away with a New York strip steak, and you're not paying $120 for it like you would at maybe a Victorian Albert's or something like that. Um, you walk into the restaurant, and there's a butcher right there in the window. You pick out what steak you want, if that's the route you're gonna go, and a lot of cool plays on food. There was a deconstructive beef Wellington that we used to do there, and obviously the menu changes every 4 months, so it's different all the time, which is
I didn't know
cool.
that.
The core menu stays the same. Your steaks. It is all a wood fire grill. I'll never forget. There's a black widow spider in the wood that we get out from the back and it's delivered to us. So that was interesting. I got to meet Robert Irvine there while he was on vacation, which is pretty cool. They do serve King Louis, the liquor. They
Louis
bring
the
it out.
14th.
Yeah, bring it out in a um, limousine, red carpet to the table. So they make it, an experience. And I think the food overall is just really, really top notch. And some of the chefs there work there are fantastic. So a lot of work just to be open for dinner. When you're there at 9 a.m. and you're working until 9 p.m. just for a 4 or 5 hour window. So
Well, very cool. Um, Ohana's is my number 4. Maybe nostalgia because it's at the end of the day, it's I've been there for dinner. The dinner's pretty good. Um, I wish they came around with the skewers
More
more
often.
often during the
Yeah.
dinner. Um, but there's a cost per head, I'm sure, in those circumstances. But we've been there
Well,
quite a
you,
few
you sure
times for.
pay for it.
Yeah, you sure do. You're right. But we've been there for character breakfasts. Um, quite a few times over the years. At least 6, I'd say. Um, and it never disappoints. They the characters are super willing to be at the table for more than the 15 seconds in the picture. I mess with when we have videos of it from when we were younger. They'll mess with the kids a little bit. They'll take their pictures. They'll sign the books. They'll hang around. They'll dance. They do like the conga line thing.
Maracas.
Maracas, yeah, they got that
Yeah.
going on. Um, and it's your traditional breakfast stuff, but and Mickey waffles and whatnot. But um,
Stitch waffles. Mm.
maybe more nostalgia for me than actual value potentially. But I've always enjoyed it, and the guava juice um, is always a
Yeah.
strong
That's
contender
that's the
in the
kicker.
morning.
That's what takes it up the notch. And
And the
and
monkey bread,
actually, yeah, the pineapple bread,
pineapple
the
bread
sweet
today.
bread. Yep, that's what actually puts it on the list of number 3 for me.
Okay,
So
there you
just to
go.
piggyback off of you,
Hmm.
characters, great atmosphere and nostalgia. Like I said, Polynesian, the resort itself, going to be one of my favorites. We've had a party of 17 there. I had a great experience back in 2003, as we talked about previously. Um, but yeah, no, the Hawaiian guava juice mix and the pineapple bread really set it apart. And you get your eggs, bacon, sausage, potatoes, all that kind of
Yeah,
good stuff. But your normal breakfast foods, I have not enjoyed it for dinner. So mine just is strictly a breakfast rated um, ranking for me.
they have a nice bar too that you
Yes,
can. I mean,
sit right
typically we're
outside
there with
there.
kids,
Yep,
but you can sit right outside the restaurant area. And Felicia and I have done that before. Grabbed drinks at the bar and just
yep,
hung out. Like showed up half an hour early for our reservation and went for dinner and had a couple drinks over there, which was nice too. So
yeah.
really
When I
cool
used to go
space.
watch the fireworks and stuff on the beach, I'd grab a drink from up there and a pineapple,
Hmm.
and then go down to the beach. So
It's very cool. Uh, my number 3, I have not been to in quite a while, so it may have gone awesome or it may not be anymore. But it's Narcoossee's at
mm,
the Grand Floridian.
good
It's a
choice.
seafood. It's a seafood style restaurant. Kind of has like well, it's like Seven Seas Lagoons, what you look over, all that stuff you're around it. So that's pretty cool. But I remember getting like a house made, like their own fettuccine that they make. I remember getting that. I don't know, to be fair, I don't remember if it was like a lobster scampi or a shrimp dish, like with the fettuccine. I remember
Yep.
it being amazing, and I remember it being like a special dinner we went to or something like that. But again, I haven't been in years. But it's one of the ones that so Felicia and I are going in about a little less than a month now. I'm going to try to convince her that there's something she likes fettuccine Alfredo, so I'm sure they have a grilled chicken option on that.
Yeah.
See if I can't convince her to go over there for dinner one night. So,
Cool.
yep.
Number 2 for me, along the same lines, El Molinos.
Mhm.
Um, I've probably been there 15 times now.
Yeah.
Um, Probably it's obviously one of my favorite restaurants on all of Disney property, let alone just the resorts.
Yeah.
A lot of memories there. Some great fantastic. I've never had a bad server there. Fantastic service. The food has been always upscale, fantastic. Um, the bolognese is killer. Last few times I've been there, I've gotten Chilean sea bass. Um, so I think all in all, you get a bottle of wine. It's definitely your dress up for dinner.
Mhm.
Not talking black tie, but
No.
definitely nice shirt, nice pair of dress pants, and some. I mean, I guess you could wear flip flops, but some people go for that look. But it's definitely a upscale restaurant. Really, really enjoy it. You go and have a drink before you sit down. You can grab a cigar from the little cabinet they have there, and sit on their patio and smoke a cigar. So, food there is next level, and it's an semi-open kitchen. You can see into the kitchen as they're cooking, um, and like I said, it's just overall top notch for me. So number two.
So I have a 1A and a 1B, and I'll tag in El Molino's because that's one of mine. In this next one, uh, I'll pull that first, and I'll just add to. I mean, we just celebrated Aunt Sue and Uncle Fran's anniversary there, and Aunt Sue's birthday.
Yep.
Just as we had a decent sized group, right? It had to have
Yeah,
been,
with 6 kids, 7 kids.
yeah,
How many kids?
14
Six.
total, I think, something like that.
Yeah, six kids.
Yeah, and not only did they give us, I'll call it a private room. It might be a stretch, but there's
Yeah.
rooms kind of tucked in. So we had that room. Our Uncle Fran's a regular.
Freaking
Uh,
flyer mile.
yeah, right. So he knows all the folks there, but even something as simple as they gave complimentary dessert, like
Yeah.
flights, I'll call them, was like
Yep.
3 or 4 different desserts on a thing, and then they gave 2 of those to the tables just for us to have. One of them at the end gets some wine spilled on it, and the first thing they do, they take that right off the table. They come and brought out a new dessert uh,
Yeah.
for us.
Didn't
Not
charge for
not
nothing.
their
So
fault, obviously.
yeah.
Felicia's clumsiness, I think, but
couple glasses.
couple glasses in. But
Oh,
yeah,
and the
but
homemade limoncello afterwards
yep.
too. Like, oh man, I love that. I know. I don't know. I don't think you drink it,
I
but
don't do I don't do
yeah.
limoncello. I got ruined for
Oh,
that at a family reunion
yeah.
number of years ago, where it was jet fuel and it wasn't limoncello.
Yeah.
But
The white
it's
lightning with a hint of lemonade.
yeah, pretty much. But yeah, they're it's just an excellent restaurant. I'm a huge fan of the veal salt and boca there, which is the only place I've ever had it, and I can't imagine it being any better. You get a chicken parm that's the size of a serving plate.
A full on dinner
Yeah,
plate.
it's
Yeah.
it's gigantic.
Jeez.
Um,
Yeah.
and I can put food away. Yeah, I struggle. I don't finish it. I don't think I've ever finished it.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, Il Molino's is just one of it's at the Swan, one of my favorite places. Met Doug Flutie there actually at the bar, which was pretty cool. But yeah, one of my 1A 1B. So
Cool.
that's it.
Um, my number one
Hmm.
is going to be California Grill at the Contemporary Resort.
Hmm.
I've only had the pleasure there eating there one time, and I have to say, hands down, it is the one thing that I remember from that whole restaurant is the sushi. It is the best sushi I think I've ever had in my life. And outside of, the atmosphere of being able to watch, this is when the Wishes show was going on. So Wishes was going on. They play the entire show over the speakers in the restaurant. So you can see all the fireworks going on in Magic Kingdom. Perfect view of the castle, all lit up. And then the sushi there was, like I said, the best sushi I think I've ever had in my life. And that's, I've been around a bit and try sushi pretty much everywhere, every chance I can. Um, but service was the best service I think I've had at a restaurant. Um, Very attentive, but not overbearing. And they, you can't beat it. So if you ever have a chance to go check out California Grill, do it at nighttime when there's a show going on at Magic Kingdom. You won't be disappointed.
Yeah, that's one of the ones I want to get to. I haven't been to as well, so it's on my to do list. My other one is the Yachtsman.
Yeah.
You talked about it a bunch earlier. It is. I've had the fillet there. I got the larger. I don't know if it was 10 or 12 ounce. I don't remember, but I had a larger fillet. Like I said, it was handpicked. It was just melt in your mouth type of cooked perfectly. All the sides were amazing. I like the atmosphere a lot. I didn't go there while you were working there, though. I don't think. But
Yeah.
again, I've said this before. I didn't have Disney money when you were working there either. Not for
Right.
those kind of things.
Right.
I was jumping into family trips at that point, so it wasn't on my own time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no,
Oh, you got a room? I'll pay for my flight.
yeah, pretty much right. Yeah, the Yachtsman, uh, as far as I'm concerned, is probably the pinnacle of steakhouse on Disney property with a a gone but not forgotten asterisk to Shula's, which used to be over in the Dolphin. Um, the best
Yeah.
steak I've ever had was a cowboy ribeye at Shula's. But at Shula's, you were paying, you mentioned not
Oh God.
120 for a strip. I think that the cowboy ribeye was like 140
Yeah.
or more. Stupid, but it was excellent.
I
So
got to eat there one time, but I have one restaurant that I did want to have an honorable mention for. That I also, funny enough, I worked at. It was the ESPN Club. Um,
yeah, also gone. Yeah.
I love the atmosphere of that place more so than the food. The food was good.
Mhm.
I never really had bad food there, but it was, your typical bar food, wings, burgers, foot long hot dogs with chili sauce, nachos, that kind of stuff. But you had it back when we were kids. They had PlayStations were new, so they had PlayStations and Dreamcasts at the tables, the booths, and then it's lined with over 100 TVs in the bar and restaurant. Um,
It was like
I
Wild
had
Wings
the
or Wild Wings.
yeah, but Wild Wings on steroids. I think it's
Yeah,
way
yeah,
better than
no,
Wild
yeah.
Wings.
I
Yeah,
meant the TVs. Yeah.
the sofa recliners and all like the stadium seating and that kind of stuff that they had there, the theater seating,
TVs in the
uh,
bathrooms.
TVs in the bat and the urinals. Yep.
Hmm.
Um, but I had the pleasure of working there during the Super Bowl. After the Super, yeah, well, during the Super Bowl, and then got to visit the parade after the fact when it was the Steelers won and Santonio Holmes caught that pass in the end zone, toe drag to win it. He won the MVP, and so, but we served over 2,500 people that night for the Super Bowl,
Wow.
or for dinner time, the whole, not just during the
Yeah.
game, but yeah, they set up outside. They put up bleachers, rows of bleachers. They bring in like a big jumbotron, and had that set up outside on stands, and they had 200-300 people just sitting outside watching the game, plus everybody inside, and standing room only. So, and then they have a radio broadcast in there that they're like a show and stuff like that. So, gone too soon. I really hope that they bring that back in some capacity. I think Disney Springs would be an excellent spot for it. Um, take away well, I was going to say the NBA experience, but that's going to be turned into the new gaming center that they're bringing in. But plenty of room for it down there, and I think it would be a huge hit. Reimagine the ESPN Club. I know in a couple different places there's two levels of it. The one, they had the arcade and all that kind of stuff. So not to dive too much further into that, but that's honorable mention for me.
No, it's a good one. That's I have no complaints. We went there quite a few times over the course of because we've stayed at Boardwalk and we've stayed at or we were meeting Uncle Fran and Aunt Sue over there for lunch on occasion. You'd
Yeah,
walk out Boardwalk and then Beach Club. We stayed and gone to gone over there as well for lunch. It's a great lunch spot, and it
yeah,
was always loud and busy, so you didn't worry about being a family in that spot. So
yeah. I mean, between the closure of that and Jelly Rolls, like really Boardwalk for being one of my favorite resorts, I really don't have a reason to stay there anymore.
yeah,
So
so
unfortunately,
so yeah, so that's our top 10 uh, as far as the Disney resort restaurants. Um, I happy to go to any one of those. If you put me, if any one of them on your list too, frankly. I
yeah,
didn't I didn't have a complaint about anything you had. There's no shocking revelation coming where I tell you that, I don't like one
yeah.
of the spots,
Fucking
but it's
freaking Thanksgiving food. Yeah,
Thanksgiving and Magic Kingdom doesn't do it for me.
yeah,
Um, who wants stuffing today? Not me. But so yeah, so there's our rundown. So I think Mitch is going to lead us in our
yeah.
final portion.
I got 10 questions here for you. Some of them can be a little bit tricky. Some of them I think should be pretty easy for you.
Are they
But
trivia?
trivia questions, yep. All about the parks
Great.
or Disney World specifically.
Yeah.
So, all right, with that, let's start it off.
Hopefully it's not dates. I'm not good at that.
What Magic Kingdom land was the last one to open on opening day in 1971
I
due to construction
you love
delays?
you love these old
Uh, I knew this
6-year-old
one.
questions due to construction delays.
Yep, there's
Let,
one Magic Kingdom land that wasn't open.
let's say Frontierland.
Close. It
Front
was
Way
Liberty
Adventure.
Liberty Square, and that's
Oh,
just a
Liberty
little
Square. Okay.
dagger in the Thanksgiving for you.
That's the worst. That's the worst.
What Magic Kingdom attraction has a real working basketball court inside? This one might be news for
Ooh.
you.
Oh, I've heard about this at some point.
I thought you did. That's why I kept it in here.
I thought I think I knew that the Matterhorn in Disneyland has
They
one,
also have one. Yes.
but I don't know. It's it's got to be one of the larger ones, obviously. Have the space. I'm thinking
Yep.
mountain again, so I'd say Splash, but could be. I'd say a mountain. So space or Splash, but I'll say Splash or
It was
Tiana.
Space.
Space.
Space Mountain.
Nah,
Yep. Yep.
that's okay.
What is the exact acreage of Walt Disney property?
I have not a clue.
25,000 acres.
You could not. You could have given me.
47 square miles.
You could have given me 25,000 guesses, and I wouldn't have
Yeah,
gotten.
okay. All right. Well, that's unfortunate. You learned that in traditions.
I've never.
What Epcot attraction was the last major project completed by Walt Disney himself? Oh, sorry. The last completed project of his vision completed by Roy.
I know what you meant. Is it still around today?
Sure is.
Let's say Spaceship Earth.
Correct.
Yeah, I got one.
Yeah, one.
Hey, one for work.
Number 5. What Walt Disney World attraction is home to the tallest man-made structure in the state of Florida?
I remember. I remember a lot of stuff being like, oh, if it's more than 199, it has to have the lights on it. So I'm trying to think if there's anything with a light on it. You know what I mean? Because there's a bunch of things.
I will give you the hint that it is 1 foot under.
1 foot under. Um, is it at Animal Kingdom?
Mm-hmm. I mean, you got to get it now.
Everest?
Yeah, Everest.
Okay, that's what I thought it was, but I was like, I couldn't remember if Tower of Terror or if
they rival each other. Those are the two tallest buildings in all of Disney.
That I couldn't remember if that was. I remember reading that was 199 as well.
What film's music is subtly referenced in the background loop at Polynesian Village?
The Tiki Room. Or what film? You said film.
What film? Yeah.
I was thinking rides. What film?
You know, I don't think you hear in the Tiki.
Well, you might actually in the Polynesian. That's a spot that you could.
Think island.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking Moana, but that might be too
way before.
Yeah, that's right. Is it Swiss Family Robinson?
It is.
Nice.
What was the original corporate sponsor of Journey into Imagination?
I feel like it might be Kodak, but that might be wrong.
Was
Kodak?
it?
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
Because they also sponsored Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
What a pull.
Or the audience.
I'm actually pretty pumped about that one. That's a big one.
Not something I would have thought of myself, but like after reading the question, I would have got it. You know. What Disney World attraction uses the same Omnimover ride system as Haunted Mansion, but has a completely different theme?
The Ariel Little Mermaid ride.
Correct. Under the Sea. Journey of the Little Mermaid.
There we go.
What is the name of the mountain range in Big Thunder Mountain?
Oh, I hate that ride. I argue
So do I.
I argue this solution all the time for favorite ride.
I can't stand it. I mean, I'm interested to see the new ride, but I don't like it. Like
it's the wildest ride in the wilderness.
Yeah. Wilderness.
The Great Smoky Mountains, maybe.
The Red Rock Range.
Okay, so it was a fake one.
Triple R. Yep.
Yeah, that's fair.
And final question: what Walt Disney World Park originally opened with no traditional e-ticket attraction, breaking a Disney World precedent? So it didn't have a exciting ride,
a top tier thrill ride
when it opened.
Let's go Animal Kingdom.
It's going to be Epcot.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, you got Guardians came way
Oh
after,
wait.
Mission Space came way after, Test Track way after. You know, those are pretty much your big three.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't even cross my mind to think Epcot. I knew it wasn't Magic,
Yep.
but I was thinking when did Tower of Terror, if that was initially in the park, and I was
Yeah,
thinking
that
Everest
opened up.
wasn't.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, I was thinking Everest wasn't operational when it first opened. You know what I mean? I felt like they. I felt
I
like
don't
at
know. That's a
the
good question.
beginning it was Safari was like the big thing there.
Well, all they had was those two rides at the beginning, right?
Yeah. Well,
On
they had the
that
dinosaur,
dinosaur Everest and
but I don't count. I mean, maybe they
RIP.
count. Maybe they count. Back in the day, they counted Safari as an e-ticket. I mean, that used to be a
Yeah, but
ridiculous
Animal
rate.
Kingdom was well past e-tickets though.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, the answer
Yeah,
obviously was Epcot, but
yeah,
after thinking about it for 10 seconds, I was like, yeah, it was
yeah.
stupid. I should have got Epcot. I don't feel like I did terrible. The Kodak poll was worth
No.
3 points, so I'm
Yeah,
I'm very fun.
I'd give you a C plus.
Get degrees. C's get
Yeah,
degrees, baby. Um, so yeah, so that's our 12th episode in the books. Do us a favor, throw a comment down. What's your favorite restaurant, whether it's in the park or out of the park? Like the video, share the video.
yeah.
Um,
Any kind of experience you had at those restaurants, good, bad, any memories made? Love to hear it.
yeah, anything you want us to cover. If you're going on a trip, something like, where should I go first? What's the best way to go through the park? What are what's your perfect scenario? And if you can do anything you want on a day in Disney, right? Something like that. Feel free to leave us anything. We appreciate it. And that's it for me. We'll see you next time.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing you guys next week.